Courtney here, and today we're going to go over Dandasana. And so I want to teach this posture to you from page 62 in my book, The Mud and the Lotus. So if you don't have it, hopefully you're here because you have a copy. You can find it on Amazon, at allyourpress.com, and all major retailers. So I'm going through every posture in the book and every chapter in these different YouTube tutorials. And today we're on staff posture. And I'm going to start linking things together and showing you what all you can do. But first, let's get to this posture. So in staff, the Sanskrit for it is Dandasana. And the type of pose is seated. It can be a strong posture. It helps to bring mental clarity. It stabilizes the shoulders, the back, the hips, and the legs. It is chakras 1 through 3 that we are getting into and that we are helped to strengthen and balance. So the verbal cues are pretty easy, right? Just begin to kind of notice what you do. Like, what do you do in these postures? Well, where am I? I'm sitting on my bottom, right? My legs are coming out in front of me. So you say, take a seat on your bottom. And you've probably come here at the beginning of class or as a transition. Lift your seat back. We jokingly call this Ben and Jerry. I'll give Nikki Myers credit for teaching me that. And your feet are flexed. Your hands are to your side. Your elbows are soft. You're lifting up through the crown of your head, taking a nice big breath in, lengthen. And as you exhale, drop your shoulders down away from your ears. You notice I don't have my knees flat because look what happens to my heels. My knees hyperextend, my heels come off the floor. So if I put my heels down, I have a softness in my knees. We don't want to lock the joints out. We want to take good care of our joints. So breathing in, pressing through the feet, flexed feet, tall spine, shoulders back. This helps to elongate the spine and make space between the vertebrae, so it takes pressure off the disc. It's really good for reducing degenerative disc disease. Alrighty, so the lines of energy of the physics of this posture is from the hips down through the feet, from the navel up through the crown of the head here. Okay, sorry about those beeps. I've got all my notifications off and I have been trying to figure out how to turn that off. So if you know, please let me know. Modifications and suggested props. So you could put, I have a rolled up mat here. You could put that under the knees or a blanket or a pillow. I have a meditation cushion here. Anything that lifts the hips. It doesn't have to be fancy. So it could be a blanket, a pillow, even a bed pillow. All right, and here we are, sitting tall. You could sit on a chair and put your feet in a chair in front of you. Have two chairs facing each other and put your feet up on the chair and do Dandasana. And shoulders back and down. Good. All right, so assisting and adjusting. So in this day and age, people aren't really touching much more, and it's hard for me to show you how to assist or adjust in this without someone here. But mainly, I'm just going to tell you to use verbal cues. And so what I would often do is if people's shoulders were in their ears, I might come back by and just gently touch their shoulders after getting permission to touch, of course, or just kind of lift up through the crown of the head. People can feel you put their hand over their head, and it just kind of makes them rise. Okay, so, but depending on your comfort level with touch and your students' comfort level with touch, just be sure to kind of feel that out and know. And right now with all the sickness and stuff, this is March 2020. We're not even having public classes, right? So we just have to kind of use our common sense. All right, so variations of this, I've already told you on the chair, but you could also think about your postures on different axes. All right, you could go to your back. This is still the same thing, right? The feet are flexed, my hands are down. It's a reclined leg stretch is what it is, but it is doing the same movement. I've just flipped my body to my back. So this offers really good lymphatic drainage for the legs. All right. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about linking these postures together and what you can do while you're here. So my first video was on Sukhasana, which is seated posture here. Let me take my sockies off. Seated posture, easy seated posture. So Sukhasana, you can take Dandasana here as an alternate, but from here, from either one, you could go lateral, lateral, you could twist. Obviously, you want to take your time. Or here, lateral, lateral, twist. So this could be an option for either one. So I mainly work in the medical world these days, and I recently taught a workshop and had a lot of teachers there, and I told them, I said, I've noticed that seated postures seem to be missing in a lot of classes. What is going on? And they said that it's because of the vinyasa flow kind of movement that's happening, all the more athletic type of classes that are happening. And my take on it is yoga was never meant to be physical fitness, that is a byproduct of the practice. And I miss seated posture. So while we're here, let's talk a little bit about what we could do just to help you understand how to link them. So let's say you've chosen Sukhasana or Dandasana as an option. What all can you do here? We've already done lateral and twist, right? Well, what else is there? There's Baddha Konasana. Sorry, I'm getting a little lazy with my aids there. Baddha Konasana, right? Cobbler. There are all variations of twist. Now, we've done the lateral. What about the wide-legged seated postures? Soft knees, you could lean forward, you could come all the way down to your forearms. We'll just keep it PG here and I'll stay there. Inhale the arms up. You could exhale the arms over. You could come up here. There's so much that you can do from the floor. And while we're here, let's just talk a little bit about doing maybe even a starfish pose. And so yes, I'm varying from Dandasana, but I'm showing you while you're on the floor, take advantage of all of these wonderful seated postures, right? Coming up, scooping up, all the things you could do here. So many variations. Try them in your classes. People love them. And even though in the book I'll give you a posture, in it I talk about how to link them up and how to transition. So let's say we're on the floor and we want to transition. How do we transition from Dandasana? Where do we go? And I see a lot of what I call flip-flopping, or I call it fish flopping, because there's a lot of lack of logical transitioning. So from seated postures, what I would recommend is maybe you come onto all fours, hands and knees, and then because you're not going that far from the ground when you do this, right? And it allows the blood volume. Blood volume follows gravity, so that's been in my lower extremities, and it allows the blood volume and the energy of the body to transition slowly. So here, and I'll cover more postures, we might do our circles, right? We might do our cat and cows. There's so many things. We can walk up, we can do our flex, our bird dog or sunbird. We can do so many things. We can take our knees up. We could even go into our pigeons if we were worked up. I don't ever see pigeon anymore. It's missing. All right, and you want to make sure to do both sides. So there's so many things. So what you want to do is you want to do a few seated postures and then go to all fours. Let's say you want to go to standing. I did a class yesterday, and I'll play around with videos, and it had me on my back and then rolling up to standing. And that is so energetically jarring to the body, and and all the fluids in the body don't have time to really adjust with that because the gravity changes so quickly, your center of gravity. And so when you're on your back, the blood volume's more towards your back. When you stand up, it's towards your feet, and it's very jarring. And if you've ever done it, you feel a little uneasy, or if you've done it right and then you do it that way, it just feels uneasy. So let's say you want to go from seated to standing. Take a few postures here, as I just showed you. Do 3 or 4 things. Then from here, you could either go to your down dog. If you had someone that didn't need to have their head below their heart, you could stay here and you could come into like a lunge, right? You could stay in your lunge. Slow down, okay? Yoga was not fast when I learned, and I started learning in the 70s. Top of the foot or flex. You can come up, then bring it up. Make sure you do both sides, right? Make sure you do both sides. And then come up, all right? And then up, and I'm not gonna get out of the frame, but take your time, slow down. Allow the body to move slowly from posture to posture. All right, you guys, next posture will be cobbler, and we will do that probably tomorrow. Have a great day, and thank you for being here. Bye-bye.